you guys, can you tell what I did for a living? And you couldn't tell what I did for a living. And after I was going to ask you guys, can you tell me certain ways how you can just look at someone and can tell what they do for a living? What's some clues? The way they dress, the way they speak. So the way I'm dressed right now, it doesn't really tell you much, right? It doesn't? But now if I back up and I showed you this, does it tell you what I do for a living? Yes. It does. Can you guys see the color of the star that's on my hip? What does that mean to you? Another cue. What does it mean to you? No, what the gold mean? What does the gold mean? It means that I'm something other than a police officer, right? That means that I took a step up somewhere. You remember when you were in grammar school and how you guys, attendance, things like that, you got the gold star. That was for doing something good. Well, I've been with the Cook County Forest Preserve Police Department for 4 years. I just made sergeant in the last 3 months. Thank you very much. I am the only African-American female sergeant, and I am the only female patrol sergeant. I am also the only bloodhound handler. I have a bloodhound. She's 120 pounds. She does search and rescue, so we train. We look for missing persons. We look for missing persons because of Alzheimer, missing persons because of a suicide, missing persons because someone's running from a crime or something like that. And so that's what we do. Now let me backtrack. Let me tell you how I got here, and let me try and do this to not bore you guys to death. I am one of 12 children. My mother put us all through school on $10,000 a year. How does a person do that? I can tell you with honesty, I didn't know until I was 25. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am now. But I didn't know that. But she put us all through school. So we all went to college, we all bachelor's degrees, we got some doctors, we got some lawyers in the family and so forth. And you can tell from the way I speak that you're not going to get a duh or a out of me. Maybe sometimes you might get a because I'm probably trying to think about something. But for the most part, you're going to get clear consistency. Because every time that I said duh or my mom would smack me somewhere. She would grab my hand. My basketball coach, I played basketball all 4 years in high school and college. She would make me run when I would say or put my hand on my hip. Because she knew that the real world out there didn't speak with the does and the uhs. She knew the real world could not translate what duh and meant, or you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying, word. The real world just doesn't translate English like that in order for you to get somewhere. See? That's right. My geography teacher in high school, I went to Kenwood Academy, if you guys know where it is. I went to Kenwood, and she would say, every time I would say, she would count them. She would count them all while you were standing there. You would stand there, you would do your speech, whatever speech it was you were talking about, something in geography. She would count them, and when you were finished, she would say, okay, well, you did 35 uhs. Now, can you repeat? I'm like, what? I got to stand up here another 20 minutes and say this speech again? You better believe I said that speech so slow, not one old duh came out of my mouth, because I was not about to stand up there again. But, however, so my mom put us all through school. She said you can be what you want to be. I believed her. I had no reason not to believe her. Yes, I grew up on the south side. I grew up on 35th and King Drive, 43rd and King Drive, 67th and Normal. If you know any of those areas, you know those areas are, yeah, that's it. That's it. I was trying to find a nice word for it, but okay. But so she told us that we could be whatever we wanted to be. What I really wanted to be was a veterinarian. What I thought I really wanted to be was a veterinarian. So I took my whole entire schooling, my bachelor's degree, went to get an associate degree, and then I was enrolled into Loyola University as a pre-med student. All of a sudden, an application came across my desk for force police. I always wanted to do law enforcement. I realized the difference between what I wanted to do and what was a hobby for me. What I wanted to do was law enforcement. What was a hobby for me was medicine, animal medicine. I still practice that. I volunteer part-time, I help out people part-time, I go to clinics part-time, then I do what I really love, Forest Preserve Police. To give you guys a little bit of background about the Forest Preserve Police, have you guys ever been to Forest Preserve? Know where it is? Know what it is? No? Okay. Well, it's pretty much, that's what it is. And a forest preserve, we have 69 or 68,000 square feet. It's huge. It's different from being a local Chicago, Maywood, River Forest, whatever these little suburban areas are, because they're so confined. If you take it this way, if each desk represents a county or a town, and you guys are in them, or sitting at these desks, that's what Chicago is, this is what Maywood is, this is what Harwood Heights is, Chicago Heights. Well, I have all you guys. I get to go anywhere I want to go, anywhere in Cook County. I get to enforce all local, state, county laws. That means I get to enforce everything that Chicago does. You're speeding down the street and you see Forest Preserve and you're like, they're not going to do nothing to me. Whoop, whoop. Yes, I am. Okay, so we get to enforce all these laws, so we have a lot of power. But what's fun about the Forest Preserve is this, is that we do something different than what they do. We don't necessarily go out for crime. We try and prevent crime with our presence. What we do is we enforce conservation. What conservation is anything that is preserving the flora, the fauna, the natural forest preserve. So if someone's picking something that they shouldn't be picking in the forest preserve, they're cutting down a tree, they're shooting an animal or a deer or something like that. This is what we do. This is fun. We get to ride on ATVs, bicycles, Segways, we have SUVs. We go anywhere. We ride in the trees, in the mountains, whatever. We're hiding. We're doing whatever it is. We're wearing camouflage. We do so much. I love my job. I love getting up every day. I strap on my boots and I'm ready to rock and roll. I cannot tell you, when I started, I didn't even know this position existed. I knew there was such thing as a police department. I didn't know that there was a forest preserve, that you're going to tell me I get to ride a horse for a living. You're going to tell me that I get to play in the woods for a living. This is not like that, what was that movie that was out where the kids were getting killed in the woods and it was all that shaky camera? That's what okay, the Forest Preserve is not like that. It is not like that. I know people are like, I'm not going in the woods, it's all scary, it is not like that at all. What we have there, most of this stuff is free. We have ice skating, fishing, boating, inline skating. We have 200 miles of bike trail. We have soccer fields, we have swimming areas. Most of the swimming areas are free. We have camps, we have day camps. We have so much activity that obviously you guys don't even know that we have. We have the Chicago Botanic Gardens, beautiful. You guys never been there, gotta go. We have 6